What's up, everybody?
What up, what up? How's it going, y'all people?
Eh,
Eh,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I
that's,
agree.
I'm
It's been a
still,
strong
I'm
now.
still stuffing my face over here, so that's why my camera and my mic's off. Trying to gobble up as much as I can. You know what's crazy about working from home is I just forget to eat.
yeah,
I'm in the same room all day, you know, in meetings back to back. I forget to get up. You know, if I don't really time myself or set a timer or an alarm, forget it.
yeah,
My day just goes by.
yeah. Today I was working on a project where I was just looking for the superhero musical scores. That's all I did. I listened to maybe 300 musical score tracks, and was just picking out the best ones to put into a playlist for a playlist that we're building. Actually, that we're updating.
In Guantanamo, they call that torture.
I liked it. It was fun. It wasn't torturous. It's just, you're looking for the different elements, right?
Well, I would assume it's not. It's your job, pretty much, to go through those things. I'm just kidding.
But like one of the things that you start to notice, like, they all kind of sound the same after a while, and that's the problem. Like they don't all sound the same, but they're produced in a very similar way. So
probably in the same keys and stuff.
Yes.
There has to be a certain tone in order to actually emphasize either act like
like
triumphant,
a hero.
sort of, those triumphant kind of sounds,
But the ones
I
that
think that's like C major or something. Anyway.
Oh, okay. That's one thing. I never learned. I learned the skills when I played the saxophone, but after that, I stopped paying attention to that stuff, which is probably a bad thing. But yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, the new Spider-Man Far From Home has some interesting tracks. The thing I think I found the most interesting was Hans Zimmer released after he did Dark Phoenix, they let him do like an experimental Dark Phoenix one that's like other tracks that he had thought up. That one's badass, man. Like some of those tracks, I was just like, yo, these are fucking epic, but they're not. I don't think they're in the movie. I think they just exist. He just put them on this album that was released by like a different label and everything. It says Experiment of the Dark Phoenix or something.
Hit me up with some of that.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it's Hans Zimmer, so you know it was going to be interesting, but it's just.
All I hear is samples.
yeah, probably. All you beat makers, Hans Zimmer's out there. You can just pillage through that collection. It's a whole bunch of weird sounds, but
good luck clearing that.
Clearing it.
I'm more of an Ennio type of guy myself.
You're what?
I'm more of an Ennio Morricone type of guy myself.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. to him.
Oh yeah. I used to sample him years ago.
Yeah, well, he's cool with it. That's the thing. Super cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he pass away before last week's episode? Yeah, we already gave him a shout out and Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a sad loss to the when I look, because I look at all these guys and it's always the same people over and over. When I look at that list of all the people I added today, Alan Silvestri, Christopher Drake, Hans Zimmer, Ludwig Göransson. There's a new woman, Pina Torpak. Yeah, true. Yo, I didn't even realize that, but that's facts. That is facts. But yeah, they're talented, man. There's a lot of you can see there's talent in that pool, so they know what they're doing. It was 100%. Fun though. It was fun. There's a lot of cool music. Real quick, we're gonna jump into it because we have a whole bunch of stuff we want to talk about. But Nick Cannon, this one I think is I dedicate to our boy Akeem. When I got the news, he was the first person I hit up because I know how much he appreciates and respects Nick Cannon as a. I mean, aside from the fact that he said he wants to be on Wild 'N Out. He actually
is that he's a comedian, right?
Akeem, yeah, exactly.
Was that a joke?
No, he actually did.
No, he likes Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Dude, remember when he was on the show?
Well, I don't mean. What's that?
Remember when he was on the show and he was talking about how he wants to be on Wild 'N Out? He likes what Nick's done.
It's true.
I remember that. That's That's very true.
So that's why he was the first person I hit up to let him know, like, oh, hey, man.
It seems like every day I wake up and there's something new, and it's just like if I don't open the clickbait or the headline to read it, I just don't care for the story. So what exactly happened? Do you know what he said exactly?
Yes,
I didn't check it.
Yeah, there's a quote. Okay. There's a direct quote.
Yeah, could you get that quote?
Hold on.
Hit me.
Let's pull up the quote.
Yeah, I'd like to hear this.
Yeah.
And like. if it's like sometimes context matters too. So I'm expecting.
I can't say it on the
like,
show.
You're saying context matters.
Listen,
you can't.
we're still in this. We're still in a space where we can say whatever the hell we want. So.
I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
A certain group will get you canceled real quick.
Yeah,
A certain group will get you canceled.
But I mean, it's not even the group. Like, he just full on just started saying like, white people are.
Yeah, but like,
oh man,
it's just universally known. Like, you just don't touch that. You know, there's a land of there, and you just don't even cross the street to kind of head to the curb to go there.
Yeah,
stay away.
Yeah. I mean,
what did he say? You were laughing too much. I couldn't hear you.
Well, he made comments. He made
hold on.
What some people are perceiving as anti-Semitic comments. If you click the link, it links to it. But now, if anything, I think the bigger thing I want to talk about the fact that
I can't speak to it until
he made anti-Semitic jokes.
Go ahead.
And then he made comments about the Rothschilds. I know you're saying context, but he started talking about anti-Semitic conspiracies.
I know you're saying context.
No, I mean okay.
It's the same way things get labeled as like racist before, and then you find out, oh, wait a second, that's not what the person. Like, I would like to see it for sure to actually, was this worth him being fired over?
Okay, well, I'll say this: he called black people the true Hebrews, and then made comments about Hebrews.
So he got fired. Well,
I mean, if you're gonna make comments about other people,
don't even go near the curb.
Even just saying black people are the true Hebrews and then saying the others aren't the real Hebrews is problematic. That's already gonna get you in trouble.
Hella problematic.
And then
that's gonna get you fired.
That's gonna get you fired.
I mean, I just.
Do you think he got caught up in the moment and he's kind of like,
You listen to Kendrick that day.
That's crazy. Like, I think he might have gotten caught up in. He might have. I don't know. Actually, I can't defend it. I can't defend that.
Nope.
I can't.
It's
you
just
put that head wrap on way too tight.
He's okay. The bloodlines that control everything, even outside of America. He said that black people are true Hebrews. I'm trying to find the exact. Because if anything, I wish I would have found the.
Yeah, because like even just that statement alone it could be problematic, but I don't think that's worthy of firing someone.
They might have been waiting a while.
I think
if someone said white people are the true Negroes, that's a different kind of line, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same? Or is it the same? Right?
I think Nick
probably not.
I feel
that's a bit of a stretch. I'm trying to help Nick Cannon out too much.
I feel like the fact that Nick hasn't gone public and said like I'm sorry or tried to explain away. I mean, he did try and explain it away.
He kind of did
by saying that like he only has love in his heart, and these are the things that he was saying. But it's just like, at no point did he apologize. And if people, it's the same way that if a comedian
believes it.
Yeah, if a comedian starts to make comments about black people and then says, explains it but doesn't apologize for it, and black people are just like, well, no, that's some racist shit, then who's going to tell us it's not racist? So if Jews start saying that's anti-Semitic, then how are we as non-Jews supposed to say, no, he wasn't being anti-Semitic, you guys are being sensitive? Like we keep saying as black people, when we tell you something's racist, it's racist. We can't turn around and start telling other groups, oh, that's not anti-Semitic, don't take it that way. And I know some people make the argument that like people are getting sensitive, but it's, if anything,
I think on top of that, I think he was quoting Louis Farrakhan, right?
Yeah, that's the other. That's it.
Hey, you want to turn your video off, Brian, on our side? You're kind of there's a bit of.
Oh, it's shopping. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this whole thing, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think if anything, the fact that he's losing out on his his brand too, because Wild 'N Out is his. He's had that for some 20 years. So when he says that he wants ownership of it, that I definitely understand.
Oh, I'm reading some of it right now.
Do you want to read the whole thing? Do you feel comfortable reading it?
Not the whole thing. I'll read some of it.
Is the word birthright in yours too?
I like that.
No, I think okay. So the biggest part here is that he's praising Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, right?
Yeah.
His ideology, which, according to I think the Southern Poverty Law Center, they recognize the Nation of Islam as a hate group, right?
Okay.
So that in itself, aligning yourself with that side, on top of making those statements,
Yeah.
more than likely, because if he made that statement or said that, it could just been viewed as like his view, and they'll talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't think it was worthy of being fired, but like he looks like he went hard in this on this podcast. What did he say here? The people that don't have melanin, and I'm going to say this carefully.
That's such a weird way to say it too, man. The people who don't have melanin,
are a little less. They are a little less, is what he said.
Yeah.
When they didn't have the power of the sun, it started to deteriorate them. So then they act out of fear, and they act out of low self-esteem, and they act out of deficiency. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, your views are your views, and freedom of speech is freedom of speech. But I posted something recently on Instagram which goes along the lines of freedom of speech is yours to bear all you want, but doesn't mean that you're actually free from the consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Of your speech.
That's something we've it's like anyone who fights for the First Amendment but doesn't understand that what you can say anything you want, but you are not free from repercussions, because freedom of speech, and one of the things that people get messed up about that in the States is the freedom of speech means the state can't stop you from speaking. It doesn't mean the public can't come at you. That's the difference. Freedom of speech means the state has no right to hinder your rights as a human being to speak on anything you want to speak on. That's what that stands for. But then people are just like, I have freedom of speech. Homie, you have the freedom. The state will not stop you. But private companies and the public who support those private companies will definitely start saying, if you don't get rid of this person, we're not going to give you our money. And then that's money talks.
And beam. And who are the people in that position? Like, people kind of know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks that this is what it came to for him. I hope he can somehow rebound and build another brand somewhere else, which more than likely may happen because he has allies everywhere.
That's the thing, right? Diddy already reached out to him and said, tweeted at him and seems to have offered him something over at Revolt.
Revolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to have him on.
I mean, there you go.
We're going to have him on State of the Culture sitting next to Joe. That'd be a crazy ass show.
I would love to see that.
Nick Cannon and Joe Budden. Yo, that is an insane program right there.
Joe Budden calls him corny every chance he gets.
Yes, he does.
That's why I'm saying it would get crazy. Because imagine he didn't think highly of Academic when he was with Ack on Everyday Struggle. I don't think Joe always has to think highly of people to work with them. I think if anything, he likes when he doesn't think highly of someone because then he has someone to punch on.
I guess that's true. Yeah. It depends how long they want to be punched on for.
Yeah, exactly. Because eventually someone's going to react, right?
Yeah. Like Maul and Rory take it like champs.
Yeah. And those guys have fun doing the show with him. And you could tell that there's some kind of there's like a friendship that, you know.
Oh, they go at him too.
Yeah, exactly. And then what else do we have? Skinny, you and I were talking earlier. We had a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
About Jada and Will.
Oh, yes, this thing.
An entanglement?
An entanglement.
Man, when this was live and we were all watching it, those were the funniest comments.
Oh, my God.
We knew entanglement was going to be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
The moment we heard it.
The moment she said entanglement and Will said entanglement, it was like, okay, here comes the meme. This is going to be the meme.
It's over.
And someone was just like, man, the moment entanglement became the word of 2020, it just hit hard because it just happened like that. COVID, coronavirus, COVID out the window. Entanglement taken over easily.
You know, I have something to say to that effect, though. You know, the fact that she actually chose to say that instead shows just how little she's matured from the progress.
Oh, interesting.
From the process.
Oh, okay.
right? She could have easily. She hasn't accepted that it was a relationship. He had to remind her, hey, from what the discussions we've had,
Yeah.
we determined for this long and lengthy period of time and the feelings you more than likely caught that it's a relationship, and you still choose to sit here in front of me and the people while we're recording to say entanglement.
But do you so we say that, but do you think maybe for her it was literally just an entanglement? Like I'm not putting it past Jada to just be like, I was not in love with this person. I was bored, I was separated, and my son's friend was around.
Yeah, but she also kept saying, I. Everything had to do with, I wasn't feeling this. I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
But she's selfish.
But
First of all,
she's not
you
going to talk about.
ran through
She's not going to talk about August. Like,
I didn't expect her to talk about it, but at least acknowledge that you more than likely did pull him, like, what's it called? Strung him along.
Oh yeah, I will definitely agree to that. I believe she strung him along.
This is a kid that was apparently like deathly ill, as you guys put it
I know.
yourselves. Like, he was really sick.
Yeah.
You were trying to help him. He was in his most vulnerable
Dude.
state. Obviously, you were at your most vulnerable state, but you more than likely had that position of power. So look at this way, guys. I'm going to bring up a topic here.
They painted such a picture of him, though.
If this was Will that did this to an up and coming singer or actress or whatever it was, and she was younger, and this is the exact same, do you think it would have played out the same way?
You know what? I've actually heard a lot of people discuss this. I think that it obviously it wouldn't have played out the same way. We get that. I mean, there's no way that Will. Yeah.
Is it not worthy of a discussion?
I mean, we can discuss it. It's just I know for a fact that. Like, had a man done this in the current climate, people would be very upset.
Yeah, I think she's getting off on this one.
Yeah,
fairly easily.
Of course, yeah. But that's the crazy world of the double standard, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, as I was watching it though, you can go back and see. I was like, oh, I'm actually proud of them for doing this because it seems pretty open. But I watched it 2, 3, 4 more times. I'm like, this seems like the most rehearsed BS I've ever seen in my life.
Finally, dude, what was one of the first things I wrote in the comments? I said, this is scripted. Mm-hmm. This is a scripted 13-minute play that these two actors put on for us.
Jeez.
And even if they think they believe it, the fact that the cameras are on and they're both actors, they know well enough to control their emotions in those scenes. Mm-hmm. And this played out like a scene.
Oh,
dude, even to the end, to joke and to synchronize on the bad marriage for life, that is some acting improv perfection.
And that is some like horrible message to be saying to people out there. For two people who are on top of the world with this much power, you should not be advertising bad marriage.
But
I'm sorry.
I think I agree with you.
You should be advertising working constantly marriage.
Yes. Yes.
But bad marriage life? Let's define that.
Yeah. I mean, the joke is that he said bad marriage for life because it's bad boys for life. So for them,
I get it. But
yeah.
Still,
I'm just saying.
Could also still be construed as like, hey,
exactly.
We went through all this.
Yeah.
The shit where I allegedly stepped out on him because he said he was done with me. I don't think she cheated based on what we were.
I don't think she cheated either.
He did say, hey, like, go figure yourself out. Whatever you have to do, I'm gonna go do. This is when Will was doing all these jumping out of helicopters.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
But one of the things I was saying to Skinny, because I said to Skinny, I don't think like Jada doesn't owe Will a full rundown of everything that happened. In my mind.
No, I mean, were they on a break?
Not even up, dude. Yes. They were separated. They were not. They at that point, based on what they were saying,
like a step away from signing the papers.
Yes, that's what they said.
Then if they were on like a break or at the cusp of set thing, then if they were already like do whatever you got to do, then
again, I don't care about that. What I care about is the victim they left in their wake, and that was completely ignored here.
Yes.
Who's that?
August,
the mentally challenged guy who was suffering through addiction.
Man, fuck August.
Whoa, damn.
Hey,
that's deep. Wait, why? Okay, why?
Yeah, okay, Skinny, explain.
Let's dig into this. Let's start.
First, you're getting involved with, separated or not. Like, I'm not trying to bust down the Fresh Prince's wife, dog.
What?
No,
No, I don't think it came down to that. I don't think it came down to that, bro.
it definitely came down to that.
Not asking the name of the episode.
Yo, this is Jada Pinkett.
So
Remove the Smith. This is
Oh.
Jada Pinkett we're talking about.
does not matter. Did you not say that it was his friend, like her son's friend or some shit? Like,
Yeah.
bro,
No.
August was friends with Jaden.
Yeah, but a ton of people are friends with Jaden. So, I mean,
No.
to that effect,
Dog.
this is just a kid that came to them for help, and she wanted to feel like useful and help somebody, and then she ended up using him to
Listen,
pleasure herself and get herself out of fill her gap. Lack of
Oh
no pun
my
intended.
God.
Fill the gaps in her life,
Oh my God.
and then once she felt like, oh, it's not really working for me, goodbye. You know, like, and this kid came to her for help to begin with.
But hold on. I want to
can't say
reframe.
fuck August.
I want to reframe something real quick. It's not a matter of it not the relationship with August not working for her. It was a matter of her former relationship rekindling, and I feel like those are two very different things. Because
okay, fine.
yeah, because I feel like one of them is she stopped having an interest in August. The other one is the distraction that was August didn't hold, and her husband, who she, based on the conversation, it doesn't sound like she was the one that was initiating the separation. And now her husband, who, I'm done with you, as he said, and they've now kept finding themselves drawn together, as they said, she ends up back with him.
Yeah, I guess.
So
But
I
wait,
agree-
he was the one who wanted to separate.
It sounds like I mean,
Okay.
based on how they worded that perfect
So do
script.
you think
You're
he's
not
the
gonna
one
get
who
the
came
real
back?
answer out of-
Hey, Dave, you're out of frame, by the way. You're behind the
Oh,
logo. Yeah, just to let
Do you
know.
think he's the one that came back first, or did she go back? Well, how do you think that played out?
Well, hypothetically, I think they kept falling back into situations together. They have children together. I think the whatever happened was like natural family stuff, not a relationship thing, and that family stuff led to them rekindling their relationship. That's what I think. When you have two kids together, and if you still love each other, but you had a separation because things weren't working out, but you kept, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but COVID has brought back together a whole bunch of people. I've seen, you're just,
Yeah, but I
How
think
many
it's
people
also
has it torn apart though?
oh, for sure.
a lot. That's a lot.
COVID's killed a
I
lot
think
of relationships, but
No, it's probably just also the concept. Like, look, they've been together for how many years?
oh my God,
25.
something like that.
You're saying you're never gonna, after 25 years, you're not gonna have a moment where you're kind of just like, I need a moment to like not be with this.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
saying
then,
not
but then
everyone.
you but then you take a solo vacation. You go on a girls trip or a
And
guys
then
trip.
maybe because of
You
their
find
lives,
a
they couldn't
hobby.
do
You
that.
find things to do, but
You don't run down
Whoa,
your
whoa.
best friend.
She found a hobby.
Well, yes, technically she did.
But this wasn't
Technically,
even
she
my
did.
point. Brian's whole thing was, oh, she doesn't owe Will anything. She doesn't deserve to tell him. And I responded
I don't think
with,
she owes him anything. Yeah.
right. And I responded with, yeah, sure. However, the minute you step back in our house and you're in our bed, I don't need to be walking in the street and having some 18-year-old wink at you and not know why.
Yeah, but an 18-year-old was gonna
I think
wink at Jada.
I think I get your point,
Yeah.
and I would
Right.
myself. That's a tough one. I don't know if I want to know.
But
That's
an
interesting.
18-year-old's gonna wink at Jada no matter what. You don't think Will's had to deal with men checking out Jada
But-
Pinkett
Nah,
her
but
whole
you know
life?
what I mean? Like the August Alsina type winking. Like I'm gonna make an album dedicated to you type winking.
Yeah, but
I'm
I-
gonna write songs
I
about your pussy.
I think you do tell. I think if you're both like
I'm
serious
gonna
about
write
getting back
songs
together,
about
you
your
should, You
pussy.
should share. You should share everything. It's almost fair to the other person to make their decision in coming back if you actually do share everything you
But, okay,
experience
but
and learn while you were out on your own.
So that's the thing. What do you?
But she doesn't know it to him.
Yes, okay. She doesn't owe it to him, but what exactly? When you guys are saying that details, other than I dated August, that's it, right? What else do you want to know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Else-
that-
I don't need sexual.
Okay, well that's
history,
fine.
detail,
I
nothing.
agree.
Just
If-
tell me who.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Are we still
okay.
talking to this person? Yes.
Okay,
No. Okay.
that I
cool.
agree with. But Skinny's face makes me think Skinny doesn't mean just tell me you dated August. I think Skinny.
Yeah. But like, I would assume dating means you've done it, and like, it's up to you to decide if you still want to get back with that person at that point. If that to you is a line crossed.
True.
Yeah.
Call me a masochist, but you have to also be like, well, does your boy have a big mouth? Is he going to be running Is he going to be running around?
That-
Like,
Well, look what happened.
that
I
I
think
agree
Will
with.
wasn't happy about this part.
Oh, no,
part.
yeah.
that's why Will did what he did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's out here getting sunned by again some 18-year-old.
Yeah, and then you're out here telling everyone it's an entanglement. I'm gonna call you out for that one. Even
yeah,
at the end, he was a little petty.
I
Now
don't-
again, we talked
Yeah,
about this being
yeah.
acting, and you know there being some acting moments, but I think there were also some real moments sprinkled in, and you can
Yeah.
tell which moments were authentic or felt
Before,
authentic.
Yeah.
before they got to this table where you bet your ass, Jada got cussed out.
You mean before or after?
He's like, well, listen, your boy is on the radio,
Oh yes.
and
yeah.
you know, so
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree that, you know, because that's one of the things that a lot of people have been saying. They're just like, didn't turn around and start spilling the beans. They didn't start talking, and they didn't say anything.
Exactly.
So yes, Jada.
Yeah,
probably,
but that's because he probably picked someone more level-headed and not going through a bunch of shit in their life.
if anything, I think he picked
Like
someone
Margot
who's
Robbie?
equally as famous as him, who had. You're saying Margot Robbie too?
Margot Robbie, yeah,
Yeah. Everyone
Man,
thinks Margot
Margot-
Robbie.
whoever. I'm sure he
That's
has
his
Did this story?
maybe.
A lot of people think him and Margot Robbie
Wait,
had
no,
a thing.
They didn't only do Suicide Squad. They did
one before.
Focus.
Yeah.
They
the
did
gambling
Focus.
one together.
No,
Yeah,
it was
Focus.
Thief.
Focus, there you
Wasn't
go.
it thieving?
No, Focus.
No, Focus.
Yeah. They
That
did.
was before Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And that's why people were just like, oh, there's something going
that probably lines up.
on. Dave,
I believe it.
why are
I
you doing
believe
that?
it. I mean,
Dave, what are the eyebrows? What were those eyebrows?
even Hancock with Charlize Theron. Charlize is a decent catch.
Should we? Are we
Charlize
oh no, we're
seems
gonna save her
crazy.
for later. But we're gonna
Alright.
actually, that's a good transition. We're gonna be going into View the Right Thing right now.
Can we actually get through Charlize first then?
You want to talk about it at the top? I felt like we were gonna have the longest
not?
conversation about that one.
Oh, because you guys. Okay, cool. All right, forget it then. Let's go. Long conversation. I'm down.
Yeah, because I've seen it too,
Skinny,
so I'm down to talk about it.
Mm.
hit us.
Oh,
Tell us
we're talking-
about this book you read.
this book I read. Okay, no, this is actually, there's a reason why this happened. I will tell you about okay. So I saw the new Freddie Gibbs video called Scotty Beam, in which in the video it's featuring Rick Ross. He is driving with his young lady. They get pulled over. Certain things happen. He might have shot the cop, and they get away. And the video ends with people getting away and being happy. And that's a great video. And the first comment I see underneath this video, which Brian Block Ears, the first comment I see underneath this video is, damn, this is dope. This is how Queen and Slim should have ended. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Person under that goes, yeah, that was some bullshit. So then I immediately go to Queen and Slim, and I was like, what do you mean? How did that end? And this is where I am.
So you read the whole synopsis, plot points, and everything.
I never
but instead of watching
understand.
the movie.
Absolutely.
Why didn't you just
because
watch the movie?
I had to show you guys how. What?
Why didn't you just watch the movie though?
Why not just watch a movie? You said
Yeah.
Yeah.
that takes too much time.
Oh my
for
God.
some-
You are true
I would like
purist.
to
This
point
guy
out.
doesn't even care for the screen and
Yeah.
TV or everything us norms do.
Yeah.
He'd rather use his imagination.
I just like to point out. I would just like to
Well-
point out that he wants to consume content so much faster than I do, who watches it in 2x, that he would rather just read what is available so that he doesn't have to watch. Dude, you could have watched it at
Oh my God.
1.75. Nah, I'll just read this synopsis and plot detail and all these.
Speed reading champ over here.
So
Damn.
when I do watch it, it's so that like when I do watch it, I'm not utterly disappointed if the ending is not something to my liking. I remember going to see 300 and I thought them niggas were gonna win, right? So, like, that really
I mean,
messed me up a little bit seeing a bunch of dudes getting fight down and smiling about it. That wasn't nice.
I thought these dudes were gonna. I thought these dudes were gonna win.
No.
I thought these dudes. I like that you thought they were gonna like you. Yeah, you definitely didn't read 300 if you thought they were gonna live. You're just like, oh.
No, I didn't think they were gonna win, but I didn't think that they were gonna like end the movie with these guys smiling upon death. Like, shut up.
It's horrible. It's why they made a second one for people like you.
That movie was so stupid. Anyways, so yeah, going on to I don't really love disappointment in film, so I read the ending. I got to Queen and Slim. I read it. For what it was built up to be in the previews and people being like, yeah, this is the new Bonnie and Clyde. This is Black Bonnie and Clyde. This is for the people. Yeah, boy, you're not gonna love that ending.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Bonnie and Clyde ended poorly, so I didn't. If you're gonna.
But this one is kind of like a build up, and then oh shit, we gotta wrap up this movie, and then they wrote it.
Oh man, I hate that vibe.
It doesn't seem like y'all could have done better or something else, or I don't know. Maybe the way it was shot, it looks really good, and you're satisfied.
Yeah.
But the way I read it, or whoever wrote that Wikipedia, wow.
I like that.
That Wikipedia.
I like that you have to take into consideration whoever wrote the Wikipedia may have had a leaning of their own edit. Dude, that is such an interesting thing to think. The version
it's happened to me before where I've read it. I've been disappointed by what I've read, and then I saw the movie and was like, "Well, no, it's not that bad."
Yeah.
Makes you think you should have watched the movie first.
I mean,
at 2x at least.
Like the guy who wrote
Endgame, I think you should watch the movie.
The guy who wrote Endgame Wikipedia, he really like over dramatized Black Widow's death versus the actual movie was just kind of meh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love this. I love this side of like this is you just opened a whole new world of movie watching for me.
I'm telling you,
I can literally go watch the movie and have a possible potential B-side to it on Wikipedia.
You can try with a movie that you really like that you've seen, and then read the Wikipedia on it. Read the full synopsis, and then be like, no, but y'all left out parts. Like, they'll leave out parts. If they don't find it interesting, they'll leave out parts. It's great. It's kind of cool.
They leave out parts, but then
sometimes whole parts you're just like, wait, but that wasn't in. Like, they just do it.
So now you're criticizing the Wikipedia post?
Yes,
but he's right.
Holistic and fully
because
inclusive?
if the Wikipedia post is skipping content, then you're not even getting the full story, which is crazy to me.
That's insane.
I don't really know.
Wait, hold on. So I want to do the chain of events here. A person writes the script. A director gets actors to act it out. An editor edits together the parts. A film is screened. A person watches it, writes a synopsis, and edits the synopsis, and you read that. That is the most broken telephone version of content I've ever heard in my life.
At least I'm still watching and reading it at regular speed.
Why am I catching strays? We are one in the same right now.
Oh my god.
One in the same, man. One in the same.
Listen, you're both aliens on neighboring planets at the end of the day. You're Saturn, you're Pluto or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
This Wikipedia director's cut thing kills me. I love it. Oh, wow.
The Wiki Cut. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Wiki Cut.
The Wiki
Have
Cut.
you seen the Wiki Cut?
Okay, that might have to be the title. The Wiki Cut.
Yeah.
That might
I essentially give the film a medium thumbs kind of here, like right there.
Yeah. You're just whelmed.
I'm whelmed. Yeah, I'm whelmed over the buildup. I'm whelmed because the producer is Lena Waithe. I'm whelmed because I thought Lena actually wrote this shit, which clearly she just produced it. Because Malina Masukas or who? I don't know.
You didn't like it.
Especially if that's how it ends. Nah, like
I haven't seen it yet myself.
So you see it, and then y'all tell me, and then I'll tell you to read the wiki, and then we'll talk about this.
Okay.
Queen and Slim.
After
I challenge everybody to watch Queen and Slim, and then tell me if it sucked.
I will.
Okay.
I might check out the Wiki Cut first.
Okay.
No.
Wiki Cut it.
Okay. I brought a British show to you guys today. This one called Noughts and Crosses. This is in an alternate reality where the African nation, or African, Aprican instead, became the the nation, the colonizers, as they spread north from Africa into Albion, which is the nation, which as we know it is Europe. And they take over. Africa full on takes over. Like, we're talking culture, style, everything. Dude, the buildings in London, Albion, London, the city in the I guess the country of Albion, have like African prints on the buildings. The clothes that people wear are African styles. Like, when Black Panther came out and all those pictures of people in like African suits were coming out. This is the normal in this world. What else was dope? White women curl their hair, like they jerry curled their hair to look like black afros instead of like, so the it's not Eurocentric, it's Afrocentric influence.
What's the reception like online of the show? I'd love to know.
It has 6.2 on 10.
Okay.
I think and some of the other places that I saw scores, that was this is the IMDb score.
What's crazy, it sounds like an amazing, incredible concept just to see how things would have been flipped and just kind of like live in that world for a minute. But I just know there are going to be people online for sure. The reason it has a 6 might be even because
for sure.
of that.
There's like 1,700.
It's like, now you're pandering to blah, blah, versus imagine they're so butthurt by the movement that they're just forgetting that it's just a TV or a movie idea.
That's why I didn't even it's a 6.2, 1,700 votes. There are shows that have been on TV longer. Like there's only 6 episodes of this show that came out this year. Yeah. There are shows that have been out longer that don't have 1,700 votes, and that's I'm sure, like you said,
that's unprecedented.
Yeah, that's like people come out and they're just like, I hate this show because it's crazy. Like, okay, that's why I didn't even. That's why I'm not bothering. Like, I don't count if a show is gonna have this kind of story. I don't count it. Also, because the type of people who hate the show would vote on the show itself but not the episodes, I think the episode ratings are a better indicator, and the episode ratings are almost all 8 or above.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I think that's a reflection of the fact that the first episode 7, 8.5, 8.4, 8.3, 8.2, 7.5, and 7. And I think that, if anything, is a reflection of how... And like you can, and it goes. The highest rated episode was the finale. The lowest rated episode was the first one. That makes sense to me. It's the first first episode. You don't even understand what you're watching, and I'm so used to the world we live in that it was so hard for me to be out of the mind frame. Like, I was at one point, I remember, I was watching a scene, and the white guy did something, and I was just like. The white guy did something to the black guy, and I was just like, that black guy's in trouble. And then I realized, oh no, the white guy's in trouble in this world. He's not the colonizer. Like, this black dude is gonna smack the shit out of this dude right now for stepping up to him.
Don't get too used to it, then you turn around and cannon yourself.
That's deep.
Hot damn.
Running around at work and saying some wild shit. No, don't do that.
Yeah. No, but you know what? The show is very interesting. The thing I'm the most interested in, and I'm begging, and I'm only 3 episodes in, so I'm hoping the last 3 cover it some way. I want to know how religion evolved, and I want to know how music evolved. Because music, like hip-hop came out of oppression. Like, hip-hop didn't come out of joy.
There's no oppression.
Yeah, gospel, Negro spiritual, all those things.
I like that. That's
like
good.
You're talking about a whole Afro rock music, Afro American music, all of that completely changes in a world where black people are given the shine from the get-go. So I'm super interested in seeing how music evolves. So far, though, they haven't really depicted that because they're still playing the same like pop hip-hop songs that I know. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess they're not going to address that. And then for religion, the only indication I have of where religion is in one episode, at least so far, and one's going to have a funeral, and it looks like they're doing a Celtic type thing, the Noughts, the white people celebrate like Celtic and pagan things, and then the crosses, the black people. I can't really tell exactly if the religion is like poly or a single god. I mean, they named the kids after Greek gods, and that was, or Roman gods, and that was weird to me. Because one of the characters' name is Sephi, but you find out her full name is Persephone, and then the other daughter's name is Minerva, which is the goddess of wisdom. So I was just like,
That's interesting.
that threw me hard when I watched that, because I was just like, whoa, what the hell does that mean?
Does that mean they also call like?
They colonized
I guess
all the
if
way
they
up.
colonized Europe,
Yeah,
then it would
Europe.
mean that the names and stuff they probably did adopt just through
Yeah, sure.
osmosis.
Yeah, which is fine. So I if anything, I was just like, I guess that's not, the names aren't an indicator of what religion they practice, because you can meet a non-Christian who has a name like Abraham or something, because someone might just be like, Abraham Lincoln was cool, I want to name my kid Abraham. It's just like, well, then, and you don't realize that that's
like Nigerians, for example. Almost everyone's name has something to do with Christianity.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's a fun fact for you.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's it. I think it's interesting. 6 episodes so far, first season. I look forward to watching the back end. It's an interesting concept, and like I said, I really want to see religion and music depicted. That's
no too. Because like you said, like rhythm and blues. There's a reason it's called rhythm and blues.
Yep.
They were able to find some kind of music or some kind of soul in the blues that they were going.
Yeah, man. Spin off of Negro Spiritual. So
that's a cool show. Check it out.
Yeah. Shout outs. Oh, sorry, man. Lee J's been writing to us this whole time. I apologize. Shout outs to Lee J. Shout outs to Mark Phillips. Those guys are tuned in and writing.
So,
Lee J.
I was happy that wasn't just me. I was like, what's going on?
Hey, Dave.
Did I cut out?
Not Dave. Brian.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I cut out?
Yeah. You probably cut out for us only, not for the audience. But
yeah, sorry.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying Lee J and Mark Phillips both messaged in the chat to say what's up. So I was just saying hi to them. Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, if anything, it was perfect timing. And then, yes.
Skinny, did you... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying the old guard. Let's get to it, man.
Skinny, did you read or watch this one?
Neither.
Okay, so the rest of us watched it, right?
Yeah.
This was based off a comic book, right?
Yes, Greg Rucka.
Okay, I did not ever read that comic book.
I read it, yeah.
I didn't read it, but
Okay.
Warrior Nun, by the way, you recommended this the last time, Doc, and
Yes.
It's actually really good.
It is, yeah.
It's really well done.
The TV show or the comic book?
The show.
Both.
No, not the comic book. You read the comic book and liked it?
No.
Oh, I was like, yo.
It was like it reminded of what's that, Vampira?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Vampira, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
what
think
Vampiro,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. It's just on that level. But I like what they did with the show. They made it completely nothing to do
Oh,
with
yeah. Completely different.
Yeah, anyway, so Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
I forget that black actress
Kiki Lane?
name because she's fairly new. What's that?
Kiki Lane, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, oh no, that was the girl though. What's the guy who? Because it wasn't one of the dudes from Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Chitel.
Yeah, she would tell Ejiofor.
Yeah.
She would tell. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
I always say his name wrong.
Chiwetel.
Oh Lord.
Something along
Florence. Hey, you know what? At least we messed up Florence's name last week too, so I don't feel that bad about not getting.
I think someone else was in this that I was surprised, but I can't remember who that was.
Oh, the kid
they were
from Harry
mostly
Potter.
All new. Yes, there you go.
The kid from Harry Potter.
But they were mostly all relatively new to me.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys think?
Unrelated to the comic.
I don't know why this was a movie. This should be a TV show.
Okay, and why do you
Oh
think
yeah, I'll let you explain that first.
Simply put, so a commercial gets you to want to watch something because you don't know enough information, right?
Mm.
The only reason why I want to see more is because I wasn't given.
The characters seem to accept their fate very easily. Like they don't take time to go through the natural progression of like the confusion into the accept, you know?
Maybe, yeah, it's true. It's kind of like instead of we're seeing their life instead of seeing the origin story, we're seeing them like 20 issues in, right? So they're like all kind of normalized to it. But specifically for me, also what added to thinking it should have been a TV show was By chance, I pressed pause to go do something, and it was halfway. It was like right before they got, or when they arrived at like their first safe house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if this was a show, this would have been a perfect time to stop. And then when I got to the last scene, I was like, this isn't an ending of a movie. This is an ending of a TV show. Like that's how the ending of the movie feels like.
Oh yeah, because they're obviously trying to go for a trilogy sort of situation here.
You know what?
Yeah,
Okay, so for anyone listening, this is a movie on Netflix. It's about a covert team of immortal mercenaries, I guess.
Yeah.
Who are now like in the modern day, so they've lived for centuries, as far as we know, probably even longer. And all of a sudden, a new one of them appears.
Yeah. First one in 200 years.
First one 200 years. You said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they have to go sort of ask themselves why this new one is coming, and also to find out, you know, if they can bring her onto the team. And just before that, they had just gotten betrayed or double crossed by someone who hired them for a mission. It's a great concept.
Yes.
The idea of them being immortal, but there is a mortality to them, and they're not sure exactly when it is they will die. I thought that was cool too, because it still leaves this whole thing of like they can die at any time.
It makes them have more of a fear, like they still have fear when they're doing things.
Yes,
you know?
Right.
And that's one of the things I really liked about it. When you read the comic book, you get that. Like you're reading the comic book, and it's just like they explain early on. We don't know when we're gonna die. We are quote unquote immortal. Death still sucks. We still go through it, but we also don't know if this will just be the last time we die.
Which is pretty crazy.
So yeah, you go into things slightly fearless, but you also have to be worried like this could be my last time. But you know, one of the crazy things, and we've had this discussion. Remember we've discussed about being immortal and how once you've lived for a certain amount of time, you want to die. So that you still, I in my head when I'm reading the comic or when I watch it, the idea that like they're immortal, but they are hoping to die, so they still get to act fearless. Like they've gone like the moment you realize you're immortal and you can't die, you probably start acting buck wild. But then that next level where you're just like, I actually want to die, you probably go even harder because you're just like, here's hoping this will stop. This is the time that I actually die. This explosion blowing off half my face. Yes, I don't want to wake up from this in a couple hours. And
we saw that duality in Charlize's character, where at some point she started to sort of accept her mortality and pretty much didn't want to go back to be quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
I understand what Dave meant in terms of it feels like a TV show versus a movie. It's because I'm a big fan of no origin story. I actually like that. I like that we just jumped right in and we know what these guys are and we accept it.
Comics
That's
like
the
that
world,
too.
and like exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when a new character gets introduced, though, what I do like is a bit more background at that point to help the viewers along and help them sort of go through that journey with that new character who's supposed to be the main focal point at this point. But what's lost here is that they don't really flesh out her character. Don't give me enough to like about her.
And that's
her being Kiki Lane's character. I forget Niall.
Niall, yeah. And that's one of the things that I think was unfortunate, because in the comic book you get that in the second comic book.
Mm-hmm.
In the first comic book, the story is very much just about, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very much about the dynamics of their team. If you guys get what I mean, and who. Yeah,
and who does what?
Exactly. And the first one is about that. It has to do with the dynamics of the team. There's a new person that's introduced, sure, but that person is brand new, and this story is more about the team than it is about that new person. And then the second book is about that person, and then you start to learn more about the team overall, so you start to get like a fuller story. Like, it's interesting because there's almost more character development in the second one than there is in the first. But that was actually interesting because in the first, you just got this kind of fun action story that with them dealing with the fact that like we're immortal, this is it.
But okay, so that works on paper, literally, like that works on a comic book. But when you're actually transitioning something to a movie format, especially if you're not going to do a TV show but a movie format, you have to, and those are the times you'll see people like even on The Boys and on all these other shows and movies that draft from graphic novels.
Yeah.
They mix a few issues together, and they'll also include the ones where you get to learn a bit more of the background of the character.
They did actually mix parts of book 2 into this one.
Right?
Yeah,
so
they
why
did.
not give us more to like about our main character?
I think another thing that makes it feel more like a TV show was how they did character development for certain people. Like, for example, the couple.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Book.
Sorry, before you continue, you're saying it already feels like a TV show, or are you saying that it should have been a TV show?
He said it feels like a TV show, right?
I say it should and also feels like a TV show.
Okay.
Like when example for the couple.
Yeah, Joe and Nikki.
For the two dudes that ended up like the only thing you know about them is like, oh yeah, when we found out we killed each other and we kept on killing each other and then we fell in love.
Oh, dude, those panels in the comic book are amazing because they do flashback to show you what happened.
Like that when I heard that, I'm like, I want to know these guys' stories so bad. And how
when you ignore flashbacks for the whole movie, you can't give a flashback for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no such thing as flashbacks, really.
Yeah, there were no flashbacks in it.
I felt like I was going to get it later on, though, in like the next episode.
Charlize got flashbacks, and that's one of the things I think was unfair. Because the flashbacks that Charlize got were actually things that you don't find out until the second run. That's the thing. That's the thing I found weird. The things they decided to flash back on in this movie were linked to more the second comic than the first. And the things that they didn't flash back on were things that you kind of needed in the first, like Dave was saying.
So picked the wrong things to focus on.
I mean, I'm not going to say they picked the wrong things. I mean, from my perspective, as someone who read the comic book, I don't understand why you introduced, for example, you introduce another immortal that you don't see much of. Mm-hmm. That immortal doesn't show up in the first book at all.
That's Kiki's character?
No, another character. You know, there's another immortal. I don't want to give too much, but there's another immortal that they make reference to and they tell the story of.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes.
So I don't want to give away too much. That's the only reason I'm not saying more. But that character doesn't show up until the second book. Like you don't even get the backstory. You didn't need it. I mean, that's what I thought.
You needed it a little bit for character development, though.
But that's it. You didn't, because if anything, I feel like Charlize's character needed the least development, because in the story of her as an immortal, she, like, whenever you ask her how old she is, she's just like, I've lived so many lives I don't remember. Like, one of the things that's about Charlize's character that they did bring over from the comic book that I was actually hoping they would play out more is she's so old, she doesn't even care about trying to remember the past. Whereas in this movie, they made it like, you know, there's the scene where she's talking about, I don't remember what my family looks like. And you know,
that's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I actually completely forgot about the flashbacks, because they were, to me, insignificant until the end. And it was almost like they only put those in post to make the end make sense.
Yes.
And it was to promote the second movie. That's what that was done for, which if they made it a TV show, didn't need to happen that way.
They definitely did themselves a disservice by doing it this way.
If they made it a TV show, they would have done it in the standard like cliffhanger of season 1, come back for season 2, which is and that's when I definitely agree with Dave that this feels like a mini series when you do a cliffhanger ending like that.
Yeah, no, that's I totally get that point of view now. It definitely the procedural sort of or procedural sort of I always mess up that word. The flow of it anyway, it felt like a TV show in that sense. And if you're gonna make it feel that way, then you probably should have broken them up enough to actually have sizable chunks that people can digest, and I fully understand your character's motives. And that was definitely lacking here. That said,
it's great.
It was a fun watch.
Great. It
was a fun watch.
I don't like it as an adaptation of the comic book, but I love it as a movie. And that's something I said. Yeah, that's something I said to people. Because people asked me, and I was just like, I don't like the adaptation. I don't like how they adapted it, but I like this separate and equal. And that's something that, you know, we've talked about. It's not always easy to do. And, you know, you've talked about it, Toby, how if you're going to do it better. I don't think they necessarily did it better, but they did it as well.
Okay.
At least to me.
You actually will give them as well.
As well, yes. If I had never read the comic book and I watched this first and then read the comic book, I'd probably be like, oh, it's interesting the things they took and changed, but I think what you did in that movie was well done.
Okay.
I like Charlize Theron's character. There's only one thing I don't like that they changed that I can't mention because I don't want to ruin anything, and I can probably tell you guys off air. But there's one thing specifically that they changed that I really, really don't like. It's something that I feel that they do a lot in superhero movies because they feel they need to, and I think there are other ways around it.
So I'll tell you one thing from someone who's never read the graphic novel. That after watching this, I don't care to read the graphic novel, but I feel like if I read the graphic novel, I'd want to see the movie.
Yes. Okay, that is very fair.
I don't care to go back and see if they omitted anything or not because of how, to me, it just wasn't that well executed.
Oh, really?
Just from someone who's never read it even.
Well,
you know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
My commentary will be, my critique would be, I thought it was predictable.
Very.
Okay.
I predicted the end, and I predicted the culprit. Let's say I'll call it that.
Because it made no sense why you're referencing this other person, unless something is going to happen with this other person. The flashback, the her past.
Yeah,
but not even that. Like the fact that I was able to figure out who did what, and like there was no like I was entertained because visually it was cool, and like don't get me wrong, again it's a cool concept and it's a fun story.
I think the action could have been better. Honestly.
Well, considering it's Netflix, I think it's pretty good.
I think I got spoiled by Extraction. I was telling you.
Oh yeah, Extraction.
Oh yeah.
The actions in this one, I feel like because they're immortals and they've been around for so long, their fighting should be impeccable. Like their fighting should be a lot cleaner than what we saw. Imagine this: you've been around for centuries and probably gone through so many different types of combats, martial arts, whatever it is. You had hundreds of years to learn.
Yeah, Andy knows every fighting style.
Like there'd be more. Yeah. Wouldn't there be more of a air of invisibility to your movements?
Yeah,
it felt too human for me. That's what I'm trying to say.
And it was also only Charlize Theron who was badass like that. Like the others were not as.
The others had their moments, but there was a lot of what I liked though was their teamwork.
Yeah.
How well they transferred weapons in between fight scenes, held the other person for someone to take out. Like there was a lot of I like that sort of fighting style where they they work well as a unit. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted more from them each individually in terms of style and substance.
Yeah.
But that's also me, letting my imagination run wild. But no, cool little movie. I actually like that Netflix has like these kinds of content coming, and with the. Are we gonna talk about it in Geek News?
No,
on?
I mean we can transition to Geek News with this, but Project Power. Have you guys all seen the trailer? The new Netflix film coming out in August. That looks wild. That looks wild. Sorry, Skinny.
Netflix wasn't joking when they said they had content till what is it, September, November?
Yeah, those guys.
It doesn't matter. Just show me this movie. I want to see this movie.
Yeah. Skinny, did you see it? Project Power.
I did not.
Okay. It's a trailer.
Project Power looks to me, before you, sorry to cut you off there, Doc. It looks to me like that should be a TV show, by the way. It feels like The Boys very much.
Okay.
It definitely takes a part of The Boys or The Boys comic book.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah, go rewatch it. Yeah.
I guess in a sense, I mean, so a quick nod to the kid who wrote it. His name's Matt. Oh, damn. I had it written here, and then I forgot
You say kid.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is, but I assume he's a kid. I assume he's a kid.
I was like, did a kid write this? That's incredible.
No, in my head, anyone who's writing anything superhero related is probably still a kid at heart, at least.
Yes.
Because
Mattson Tomlin.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. But yeah, this was a spec script, which is like one of these scripts that you write. It's not even a full script. It's like a concept. And there was a bidding war over it, and Netflix won and is getting the project made. And then this kid was so in demand, he ended up getting the Batman. So he's one of the writers on the Batman, which to me helps indicate a little bit when I watch this movie if the writing style he has and the way he can develop characters and especially in like a hero genre, if that transitions over into the Batman, I think that we could potentially, as much as we've all said we don't need more Batman, it could potentially be interesting.
I'm excited for the Batman movie. I don't care what anybody says. I am excited for it.
I mean, yeah, no, I can't say I'm excited. I feel like there's too much Batman. No, I mean, for me, it's more again a matter of like there's so much Batman. Like we've had so much Batman, and I'm actually gonna play this real quick.
For every Batman we take, for every Batman step we take, we get 2 steps towards a Nightwing. That's the way I see it.
I'm gonna play our.
No, you know that's a lie.
Only because this kind of perfectly transitions. The fact that we were talking about the Batman also leads into the first thing that we have on the Geek News and Rumors, which is, well, actually I put it as the second thing after, but that's my bad. But HBO Max is creating a Gotham 2.0, the whole Gotham PD.
Hey, JCPD.
I have more faith in it being on HBO than I do.
100%. If you asked me, if I was, if you told me you had the option between Fox, 20th Century Fox, and HBO to do anything, I'm going with HBO.
Yep.
Like, can you
they
imagine?
Saw an opportunity there. There's no reason for them to rehash this property so soon.
Yeah.
If they hadn't just been watching it go down on Fox and go, we could do this. We could do this better. We could do this better. And just literally just pick it apart and make their own version because they have the rights. It's obviously still Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they come. I will watch this one.
Yeah.
I don't watch a single episode of this.
I would believe that actually, Dave.
Dave's too scarred. Dave is so
scarred by the first one.
Dave's like, never again. Single tear. Yeah, man.
Looks good though.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Project Power looks super interesting, and
it does look pretty cool. I just watched it. It looks great.
I love when you watch things live. You
I know,
should just react to it live while we're watching it.
Well, I don't want to be going noisy, but I mean, yeah, no, it looks all right. From what I get, they're like,
go ahead.
They're cops that take down people who take these pills that use them for fucking evil or whatever. All
and
right.
they're also hunting. Well, Jamie Foxx's character is not a cop. He's hunting down the source of the pills.
He's Butcher.
Okay.
He's the Butcher. Yeah.
All right, so Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Thank you,
Jordan Joseph Levitt.
Yeah, Gordon-Levitt.
He's a cop.
He's a cop, but I guess what? Did he take it at one point and then got shot in the face or something, and now he has a red eye? Like, what's wrong with the dude?
Yeah, I don't know. The trailer definitely doesn't give us enough there. He's just a cop. I think he wants to stop whatever's happening. He starts working with Jamie Foxx and the sidekick Dominique Fishback, I think is her name, who's a newcomer from what I can tell. I didn't see anything else with her, but I mean I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks dope. I think the idea of I like a story that takes place in New Orleans.
It should be a show. I think
it should be a show though.
That's what I said at the top.
It
feels like it should be a show.
The only thing is we can't have too many of these shows, right? If you have Titans, if you have The Boys, if you have, if you put like I mean, I agree with you guys that a new concept is probably better than repeating older intellectual property for the 20th time. Agreed. It's just that at this time, doing a show based on Project Power is probably not going to land as well because there's so many other options doing similar stuff.
You know what's funny about...
Mind you, there's only a 5-minute limit on your power, which I feel like that's a very interesting point.
That's interesting, yeah. That is an interesting point. I like that. I like that you take a pill, it's like Limitless and The Boys mixed in one.
Yeah. You also don't know what power you're going to get.
Temporary power. What's that?
You also don't know what power you're going to get. That's one of the things they were saying.
But that's why I said it's the same thing as The Boys.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
The Boys also, you take Compound V and you don't know what you're going to get.
No, they all get the same thing. They all
Compound V?
When we were reading the comic book, it was unless they were born with it.
Oh, right. Then it enhances that.
Yeah, because the regular human would just get stronger or whatever.
Interesting.
True. Yeah, because that's true. Because the boys take it and they just all have the same power level. They're
exactly.
Yeah. That's good. That's fair.
There's something in the breeding process.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I like the concept a lot. I do. I'm genuinely curious to see how they pull this off.
Not to mention,
but-
it looks like the graphics look great.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
Again, guys, Netflix is putting. I mean, I don't know if they're in the green
Like,
yet, because
And
or
weren't you
black
guys
and red.
saying that Netflix was going to go out to pasture with these other service streams?
I didn't say they're going to
No.
go after pasture. I just said they're going to be
hard
challenged.
for them.
Yes. Yo, this is Dave. Don't think you caught us in something, man, because it's still early days.
That was
He
a
was-
confident.
he was waiting
I know,
for
eh?
something
I
new.
say nothing. I say nothing. My hands are up here.
right.
Because this is still early days, man. Peacock only launched today, so like nobody's ready. Netflix is playing
They don't
smart
even
ball.
have Friends anymore. Who's going to watch that?
They're not going down without a fight though. If they are
Yeah.
going down, if Netflix is throwing everything out there, and right now they're winning. They're
Yeah.
actually drawing more new users
Yes.
in this pandemic to their platform, which is pretty interesting.
But I hope,
Um,
like you said, I hope they have enough content to go past. Because if they don't have anything else in production, and they've tossed,
Unless they lied, I remember a statement coming out when this all started.
No,
in
you're-
March
yes.
saying that we have content till September. Right?
yeah. But that's the thing. September is coming around real quick. We're only 2 months out from
Yeah.
September now, and you
Yeah.
already have launched the Old Guard. You have Project Power. You gave us Warrior Nun. You have Cursed coming out. You gave us the last season of Dark, which was also pretty popular. And then you have your international shows that in those parts of the world do really well. But you gotta, because your competition's coming in the States, and they're
hear
they're
me out.
planting
Hear me out.
flags.
To stay afloat,
Mm.
Netflix opens up a new portion to their platform that allows you as a viewer or someone to upload content like YouTube, and now you can stream your shit on Netflix.
Oh, that'd be wild. That'd be interesting. I don't know if.
Hire him, Netflix.
No, I don't know if they want to ever do that. You know how hard it would be to
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
police that.
Yeah,
YouTube is having a hard enough time. It'd be hard for Netflix to curate that.
Oh, it's
content.
simple.
But
You
if they could figure it out, that'd be cool.
then they get graded or not. That's it.
Was that?
It doesn't. You don't. It's not uploaded. It's that you send it to be graded as long as it doesn't have anything
Oh, I see.
against certain guidelines. It can go through.
That's gonna be a rough job. Where it has
Oh.
to go through all those videos.
You know what Netflix is also doing though? Netflix is smart. I just realized Netflix bought the Cobra Kai series
Oh yeah.
from YouTube, so Netflix is probably also pillaging the other, like
YouTube Premium stuff,
the other failed projects that are around.
or is it YouTube TV or YouTube?
Yeah, it
Premium?
was
I don't
YouTube
know.
Red or whatever. I don't know. It's dead
Yeah,
now.
something.
So, because
Yeah.
Netflix also just outbid for some other thing I saw earlier today that people were just like, it's insane that they bid this much for this, but they got it and they're going to be the ones to have it on their platform. So
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely keep shelling out money like this for these properties, and instead of having them produce their own, they just have people upload. Like I said, it's another way
Oh.
of having people just upload their own content
Yeah.
to your platform.
also Snowpiercer just ended and Netflix. That's the other thing we keep
What, just
forgetting.
ended?
A Snowpiercer.
Oh right,
Yeah,
that was
which-
a good show.
yeah.
You said it wasn't good,
I did.
didn't you?
The first episodes weren't great. I'll say that, but
Okay.
it does build back up.
Okay, yeah. I actually watched it, and I watched the movie a long time ago, and
Yeah.
barely remember the concept of the movie aside from them trying to go from the tail to the front.
Yeah.
I never read any of the books or anything like that, so the TV show for me kind of explained it a lot.
Yeah.
actually. There was a lot of. I was like, oh, I think I know everything.
And
I know about Snowpiercer.
I pulled a skinny. I read the synopsis for the comic books, Transper Neige, because that's the original comic book is a French comic book, and that one's completely different. I'll tell you that much. Like in the comic book, they get off the train. The trains can go on caterpillar tracks, so they can like pop out and go off track and go like a military thing, like has the caterpillar tank track. Yeah, there's like crazy stuff. Like I was like reading the thing and I'm like, what the hell? Like this sounds complete.
You think they have this built in? No, that's crazy.
That's in the comic book. I don't know if the movie, if the series is even going to try something like that.
Wait, you say they can leave the train, as in like it's not completely freezing?
Yes. In the comic book, there's regular from what I read, there are multiple times where they've left the train.
How'd they survive the cold?
I don't know, but there's a whole section about this thing called Futureland, where there was a guy who was like getting body parts and tricking. That's the other thing. In the comic book, there's 10 trains. There's not only Snowpiercer. There's Snowpiercer, there's Icebreaker, and then there's like 8 other trains you don't know about. And in the comic book, Snowpiercer is destroyed. It doesn't even last past the first one, from what I read. It seems like Icebreaker ends up taking over as the main story.
That's crazy. All right. I wonder where the show's going then.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. What else do we got? Guys, I gotta say, I'm actually really excited about this. Maybe I will watch Batwoman. They casted a new actress who happens to be a black woman, Javicia Leslie, who was on the show God Friended Me, or God Friended Me, I think was the name of the show that she was on. She played the sister. And now she's going to be playing that Ryan whatever character that they introduced.
Ryan Wilder?
Yeah, that's it. I'm interested.
Good for them. Good for her. Good for the hire. I wish them best of luck, but I'm not watching that show.
That's fair.
The writing stuck.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the writing is going to change just because they hire someone, of color to play Batwoman, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I will probably watch an episode. I give Ruby an episode. I'll give her an episode.
True.
But that show's a lost cause to me.
Yeah. I mean, I tried.
sorry.
No. I tried watching Black Lightning the other day. I watched 2 episodes and I had to stop because I was like, God, I can't.
Skinny's thing.
I can't.
They
I couldn't.
completely dropped the ball hard on that show.
It was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like
same theme song.
Say what?
Same theme song.
Yes. The theme song you hate is still there.
So then why would you try?
What's the theme song again?
Oh God!
Last night I saw
a superhero and he was black.
Skinny, you got to admit though, as much as you hate it, it sticks in your head because you haven't watched that shit in how long, and you still remember.
Because obviously, if you like your last night, you superhero, and you're gonna be like, he was black. No, you're gonna be like, that's a superhero. Like, that's racist in itself.
The first thing you notice is his skin. Yeah, but the people saying it are black. That's the whole point.
Nope.
It's a terrible show to begin with anyway, so the theme song is the least of its problems.
Yeah. I still want to see how the powers developed for Lightning and Thunder.
They're already there. Like,
I know.
Lightning and Thunder now.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm not that far in the series. I'm only at the beginning where Lightning doesn't know how to use her power. She keeps having.
Oh, you're trying to really watch it? No, man. Just jump to the latest joint.
No, I picked back up.
That's where Wiki Views is good for. All right, well, you don't have to trim the fat. You don't have to read any of that.
That's funny. Yeah, that's fair. I probably should have done that because it was pretty painful. What else do we got? Gina Prince, by the Wood, tapped to direct Viola Davis's Woman King. So
did you see
she directed
Viola Davis saying that she
oh yeah, I saw that clip.
She feels like she betrayed herself and her people.
Oh no, I did not see that clip.
Help.
I didn't see that clip. Sorry.
So I think she's trying to do more projects that sort of lift the black community more and less away from the quote unquote, and these are her words, but like the white savior sort of portion of these. Yeah. Trope, exactly. I think that I forget what the exact statement was.
The white savior trope is a thing, man. It's a heavy thing. And and it's always the movies that get nominated for Oscars, which is so crazy. The Help, Green Book, all those movies always, what's the other one with Sandra Bullock and the kid, the football player?
Oh, the Bright Side.
The line.
The Bright Side or something?
Something like that.
Oh, the line. Something on the line.
Who cares? Sure? It's either way, all those movies are always the ones that get nominated, and it's always the same white savior story. Blindside. Okay. So, yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, it was funny about you saying that. Is someone Caucasian recently said that was one of their favorite football movies. I was like, of course I had to know. I'm like, what about Remember the Titans or any of those other Any Given Sunday? It had to be The Blind Side with the black guys getting saved. But she's pretty much says that the movie, although she like loves her cast and like it was made, the spirit behind it was one of let's shed a light on this. It was sort of they invested in the idea of what it means to be black, but it catered to the white audience.
Yeah.
You know, that's the part of it that it's almost like, oh man, if we don't do the second half, it won't sell. It always comes down to that, right?
Of course.
Versus telling the actual story in the proper way.
But we know that. That's why a lot of the times when they make, like, I think if anything, when I look at a Tyler Perry movie, Tyler Perry is popular because Tyler doesn't do that. I don't necessarily like his movies, but you can tell Tyler is not trying to have crossover appeal. He's not making those movies and then thinking in his head, okay, but what's my crossover that will get the more a more diverse viewing demographic.
I'm 100% down with that. I just think he needs better writers, or just stop writing his own stories on his own.
Yes, and that's where I agree with you. But that's the thing. He's not making those movies for every community. He's making that movie based solely on what he thinks his community or what he thinks is funny. I don't even know if he's aiming for his community specifically. I think if anything, I
don't know what he's aiming for, but I think he misses me.
Yeah, exactly. I think he just makes those movies because he thinks those movies are going to be funny. I think that's genuinely, and that's fine. That's cool. I wish I had that kind of power to just make a movie because I think this is funny, and then to be successful at it, and then to be able to build studios and be like, well, I made movies because I thought they were funny, and now I can hire people to make other movies because they think this is a story that needs to be told.
That's crazy. I don't even know what to say, because I'm like, he got rich based off of a caricature of a person.
Yes.
Practically.
Yes.
And is there anything wrong with that, or is it just someone's art? Because at what point do we stop saying it's a bad thing that he got rich that way?
I'm not going
right?
to... I used to say it, and I have to admit now I'm wrong to say that that's a bad way for him to have gotten rich, because it actually falls back to what we talked about last week, where, getting a leg up, because we talked about it at the beginning of last week's episode, where it's just like, if you got $500,000, if you got $1 million, at what point can you say I'm self-made? Tyler Perry can actually say he's self-made. Tyler Perry made those movies. Tyler Perry, even if you don't like how Tyler Perry made those movies, I don't like Madea as a character. I don't like the Madea movies. I think the archetype of a crazy big mama is boring. And
an angry black woman, like
angry
he does play into it. That's what I'm saying. It plays into a lot of those tropes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. But he made
does some good things with it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things that a lot of artists say, right? Like, I might not like what I'm doing to get to this point, but once I get to this point, I can bring other people in.
Exactly.
And
now, hopefully, you don't do anything that crosses a moral line.
Yeah,
anything like that while you get there. But yeah.
Yeah. If you're comfortable cross-dressing and acting crazy, and you make the money, and then you can move forward with stuff, by all means.
By all means.
Yeah.
By any means.
Okay, Malcolm.
So Disney Plus announces Star Wars: The Bad Bitch. I mean, The Bad Batch.
I read it as a bad bitch the first time too. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the font they use, that faded font.
Yeah.
When you stare at it quickly, it does look like the A's.
I was actually hoping they were gonna call it The Bad Bitch, and I was like, "Yo, this is some I was like, this is gonna be bold."
And it's about Ahsoka or something.
Yes, Is it bad that's what the first time I saw it, I thought Star Wars: The Bad Bitch was going to be the continuation from Clone Wars and just about Ahsoka and what she does next. And I was like,
I would not be mad.
It would
be the most empowering freaking show ever.
Ahsoka's
badass, man.
You call Ahsoka the bad bitch and just let her roam around the Star Wars universe? I'm there for it. I will watch every episode.
Man. He has a sick name too. Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano, aka Ahsoka the bad bitch Tano. Let's bring that shit to life. Oh man.
But the Bad Batch is a spinoff of the Clone Wars, which is the Bad Batch in terms of the what's it called? The soldiers. I guess?
the mutated soldiers that they're like different from clones. They're clones, but they're like different clones.
They're very genetically from their brothers.
Yeah.
And so they are actually just like cast aside sort of and turned into their own.
You guys have all watched the show, right? So you know those characters?
I haven't watched the show in a while, but
I haven't watched it, but
okay. Because I find those characters are Ninja Turtle archetypes. Like there's a Leonardo, there's a nerd Donatello, you have a guy who's always angry, the Raphael.
But you know what? That's okay. I think
There's multiple
Let's-
things that do that. I'm not saying it's a
Yeah.
bad thing. It's just that the first time I watched it, the first thing I said was, "Oh, these are the Ninja Turtles in Star Wars." That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, you have to be careful to straddle that line in between trope and sort of making sure everyone's sure they have their like defining character, but there's also more to them than just that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be the guy who's only known about as someone who likes pizza, and that's everything. That's all you
I'm
know
not
about
like-
me is I like pizza. If
yeah.
I don't have pizza, I'm
Yeah, I
angry
hate
all the
pizza.
time. You know.
But
I
hey-
want you to know that I like to poo and take a piss as well. So
What
stupid.
the fuck? I will say though, Ninja Turtles created a generation of kids who love pizza. Like every time I want pizza right now just talking about it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I love pizza, man.
God
That's
damn.
why that's why I said it first.
Shit, that was a smart move, motherfuckers.
what-
I don't know.
What
You
we
think
got?
it was Pizza Hut or Domino's that invested in that one?
Oh. Which one would you pick
Either.
Oh,
if you had to?
I mean, yeah, no, yeah. If you're, I get
Don't do
that.
that.
Local.
Don't do
No,
that.
I agree with him
No,
though.
we're
If you
doing
had
it. We're
to,
here.
Domino's versus Pizza Hut, you have
But
to.
that's not the best pizza. Like,
No,
it's
I
not
know.
even-
Bro,
I know.
But remember childhood skinny? What would he have picked?
Yes.
Childhood Skinny would not have picked either. Childhood Skinny is legit not
Childhood skinny was bougie as hell.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
Childhood Skinny would see a Domino's pizza come in the room and be like, "Excuse me, I have to leave," and
Like,
walk
if
out
you
with
really
his nose
want to
high.
get down to nitty gritty, if you want to go, okay, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Childhood Skinny saying double
Like-
pizza, and you know what I'm
Oh.
talking about.
Well, and there you go.
Yeah. Or wait, do you guys remember Pizza Donini's?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's pizza.
Yeah. Pizza Donini's was actually good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, I'm picking Domino's.
Funny. I was gonna say Pizza Hut stuffed crust.
I know a lot of
Stuffed
people
crust.
that said
What
Pizza
do you
Hut.
like? Plastic?
Yo, Pizza Hut to me was extremely greasy, even as a kid.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
I just thought it was
I just-
so oily.
I like the stuffed crust because I would pull the stuffed crust off the pizza and I would just dip it in the marinara sauce. So it's like cheese sticks. That's the only reason I liked it.
How long did it take for that cheese to chew down?
Girl.
About half
Yeah.
an hour, and then it would take 2 weeks to pass through you. But you know,
Oh,
Why are we still talking
I
about
don't know.
poo right
Yeah, let's go. We
I
got other
was
things to
gonna
talk
order
about.
pizza afterwards, but not anymore.
I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm really. No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yo, Dave, the spot you hooked us up with when we were at your house, that pizza place,
I'll say it out loud. Pizza Capital, they rock.
that was dope. That was good pizza.
Even their wings.
Oh yeah, the wings were good too. Real quick, one last thing before we go into the last two things. Canadian director Mike Dowsey tapped for film based on Just Cause game franchise. So this
Whatever.
is, I mean, this is the dude that did Stuber and what's the other big one that he did? That
Stuber was whack. Next.
you didn't like Stuber?
Oh man.
Stuber's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
It's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
You
Like,
got to admit, there's a difference between
I
a good.
prefer Coffee and Kareem to Stuber, and that wasn't even that great.
Yeah, I didn't watch that
Who
one
made
yet.
that one?
I didn't watch that one yet.
You didn't watch Coffee and Kareem?
No, I'm supposed to watch it with my buddy, and then the pandemic, like we were supposed to watch it together, not together in person, but at the same time. And then we were gonna record because him and I have a side project where we like review buddy cop movies. And then, but then we didn't end up watching it, and then he's super busy, so I was just like, man, I don't really care to watch this until him and I kind of have to watch it. So
Okay.
I just skipped it.
Anyway, Coffee and Kareem is better than Stuber in my opinion, but at the same time, I don't really care for more video game movies or TV
Yeah.
shows.
you know which movie I really want?
They haven't executed it properly. What's that?
The Ryan Reynolds project, the one where the free guy, is that what it's called? The one where he plays the
looks
NPC.
Yeah.
Dude, I really want that movie to drop. This pandemic, man, it sucks that movie had to get pushed back because that looks really fucking interesting.
It's interesting. I wonder.
You're talking about the one where he's supposed to be a guy in a video game?
Yeah, he's an
But
NPC.
he's a non-playable character.
Yeah.
So every day for him is the same, and he
Yeah.
does the same. You know, one day he gets broken out of the Matrix.
I just like when him and Lil Rel are on the floor and the bank's being robbed and they're just having regular ass conversation because this is just another day, and I'm like, damn, that's hilarious. So that's
and it's like if I get shot, I'll see you tomorrow. You know,
yeah,
'cause I'll be back.
It's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's an
Um,
interesting concept. See, there
yes.
are original
Yes.
ideas within ideas, right?
Yeah. I
sure.
agree with that.
So
Because I remember seeing that. What was it? Because what's the one you talked about? Akibo something. What's the one with
Kibo?
that Daniel Radcliffe where he has the guns?
Oh, Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo, which itself is kind of like he gets stuck. It's not a video game though, but it's like
It's like
Yeah.
a V. It's an AR world.
okay,
But they're all real humans that
playing.
you can. Yeah, it's really weird.
But that's that kind of idea of like video game worlds is something that whoever wrote this one with Ryan tapped into like a different aspect of it, and that I think is pretty fun. So
Yeah, it reminded me of Free Guy reminds me of like a more PC Ready Player One.
yeah.
So we'll see.
We got two sad things to end off the show with. We had two deaths. There's actually been a lot of death in this past week, more so than I care to even discuss. But two of them.
Oh, Skinny, before you get into it, Pizza Donini got bought out and became Double Pizza.
Oh, is that what it was?
Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
Skinny. No.
Hold on.
He was like in cruise control, and I was just like, "What?"
I feel like Tobi would have looked that up before saying it. Tobi, did you look it
Let
up?
me look that up. Hold on.
Yeah.
This guy.
That's hilarious. Skinny. No.
Well, I didn't know. No. Oh shit! Hold on. Wait.
Hot damn.
Since 1991. Okay, yeah, but then Pizza Donini. Continue with the sadness. I'm sorry.
Continue with the sadness.
I think you know what I'll say is also sad, the fact that Pizza Hut bought out the rights to most of the double pizza locations in Montreal. That's
I
sad.
know.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's trash. That's what happened, right?
Yeah, they did. For those of you who don't know, Double Pizza is a local pizza chain in Quebec that is pretty popular. They make really good pizza. And recently what happened was it seems like Pizza Hut reached out or some kind of negotiation was made where franchise, because Double Pizza is a franchise, and Pizza Hut bought out a whole bunch of the franchises. So there's like a lot of places, like there's a Double Pizza that I grew up next to that was like my Double Pizza. I used to go there after school all the time. We get a slice, you get a poutine, and now gone. It's a Pizza Hut, and I went there once after it turned, and the pizza's completely different. Like Tobi was saying, it is very greasy pizza. The poutine.
Is that the one in DG?
Yeah, near Snowden.
The original. Oh, near Snowden. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw you talking about the one on Sherbrooke, the original one that I'm talking about.
Oh no, that one is still there. That's still
Good.
yeah, that one's still there. But
That's
yeah.
good.
Anyways, so for some of us, it's kind of Pizza Hut kind of came in and squashed something that we grew up with, which kind of sucks. And but yeah. Anyways, did you find out? Was did Donini?
No, didn't find out.
Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, the last two things, very sad to I mean, you guys have probably already heard it, but we still wanted to pay our respects that Naya Rivera passed away. She ended up she unfortunately did die. They were searching for her because she had gone on a little boat ride with her son. They both had their life jackets. In the end, it seems that the son was found in the boat asleep with his life jacket on, and her adult-sized life jacket was also in the boat, meaning she didn't have it on when she was in the water. And they believe she may have possibly drowned, which is very sad.
How did that sucks? Because
Yeah.
like from what I read too is they did the autopsy. Obviously, there's no foul play or anything. She did accidentally drown, and obviously she wouldn't have her life jacket off if she wasn't a swimmer. I would assume.
Yeah.
So something must have happened in the water while she was with her kid that made her throw her kid onto the boat.
Yeah, that's the thing,
first,
right? Yeah.
And then, anyway, we'll never know.
Yeah.
Maybe there was no foul play in the sense that she didn't have any bruises or anything.
There's
No,
no foul play.
nothing,
As far as they
nothing,
can
just
tell, she drowned. Yeah. I know one person said they think the boat might have started to float away from them if they both got out and were in the water. And she was able to
anchor properly.
Yeah, and they were able to. She was able to swim and get the son in, but she probably was exhausted and couldn't get herself in, or it was moving too fast for her. That was one theory. I don't know. It's no foul play, and it's still a very sad loss. And
yeah, that sucks because she could have swam to the boat and left the son there. He's in a life jacket. He's not going to drown, and she could have turned the boat around and grabbed him. But I don't know.
I mean,
if that's
yeah,
the case.
that's,
I want to kind of debunk it with that. but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I
we're
just
just
know.
throwing things out there now because we always try to explain how
Yeah.
something can happen right after it's happened.
Yeah.
So
And then
it's
the other,
unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
She was so young, you know.
and then the other passing that's very sad. Grant Imahara, who was on MythBusters, suddenly passed from a brain aneurysm. So you know, Grant was on the show for a very long time. He was one of the guys that helped. He was one of that team of 3. They got their own series on Netflix after called White Rabbit, where they were continuing to do kind of crazy experiments. And it's just another sad loss to see that he passed. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of
such a shame. He was like the first guy. Oh, sorry, that crew of nerds were like the first when I was a kid. That was like by watching MythBusters, they were the ones who like made me feel that being a nerd was cool.
Yeah.
That was like it hit home a little bit that this one when I found out about it.
I agree. It was kind of cool. They're one of the first to sort of have that.
Yeah, they had like a nerd.
discovery.
They had a geek squad essentially on the show.
Yeah.
A diverse geek squad, yeah.
Fairly diverse, yeah, fairly.
Well, I mean, like
That's
you have the girl, you have him who's Asian, I believe. No,
Yeah.
he's what is he?
He's either Japanese or Hawaiian. I never know these days.
Yeah, with Imahara, I would
Yeah.
guess.
Well, anyway, so you had that, and like also the girl wasn't like Pamela Anderson on Home Improvement, who was there for like, don't get me wrong, she was a beautiful woman, but she was like just an average person too, you know.
I mean, like we
Yeah,
said, it was a geek
yeah.
squad. They were geeks. They came on. They did dope shit. They were super interesting. That's why Netflix gave them their own show after. And yeah, the loss is a very sad loss. I mean, I'm not sure what projects he was working on at the time, but any passing is always sad. And so
Yeah, painful. Hey, man, here's the thing, guys. It's not the only time I've seen this happen or heard of this happen. But if you are experiencing a headache that feels like it's more than a headache,
yeah, go
to the hospital.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Especially if
That's how my mom's sister died. Headache
man.
one day, she was experiencing headaches, and the next morning she didn't wake up.
Damn, I'm sorry, man.
So that's a huge, like, that in itself. I just wanted to remind people, like, hey, definitely, if it feels like it's not just a tension headache, it's like incapacitating.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's the whole show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know we ended on a sad note, but we did have a fun time doing the show with you guys. Anything you guys want to tell the people who tuned in?
Be safe.
Yep.
Thanks for coming
It's
around.
always gonna be a be safe situation.
Yeah, be safe.
And yeah, just keep your minds busy, guys. At the end of the day, like, the biggest thing that could happen to everyone here is to come out with some kind of mental deficiency or be depressed or anything like that. So
Out of COVID.
just make sure you
yeah.
keep your minds, just keep your minds active. Stay active physically as well.
Yeah.
More importantly, just don't sit there. Don't wallow in it. Do something about it.
And wear a mask, y'all, if you go out. I know that sounds crazy to say that we have to actively tell people. But I know some of you. You know what? If anything, I would like to think anyone that watches our show or listens to our podcast is of the mind that they understand the safety. And at the end of the day, even if they're wrong about the mask, all you got was just a new cool thing you could accessorize. That's it. That's all. That's the fun. Just go on your favorite geek thing and get as many geek masks. Hell, shout outs to Devin. He's got nerd stock masks. You want to get a nerd stock mask? Get a nerd stock mask. You want to get Back to the Future mask? Go find a Back to the Future mask. It's just another thing that you can make geeky. So
I'll also shout out Boss Masks in Montreal. Boss Masks. Support your local mask makers, y'all.
Yeah, man.
And nerd stock as well.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't go to bars and clubs right now.
Don't. Inside
Bro.
restaurants, do not do
Yeah,
that. Outside restaurants.
Aren't they telling people to get tested now?
Everyone who went out on July 1st,
Yeah,
because
everybody.
so many people went, they're now saying all of you need to get tested. And then what happened was, because they said that, the lineups for people to get tested were huge, messed up lineups. The one of the hospitals here in Montreal had an insane line that went around the corner and down a block. So, social distance if you are going to get your test, please. That's the other thing.
Don't be right beside each other.
Yeah, please.
That defeats the purpose, because if you don't have it, you may have gotten it.
in the line as you're going.
That's the crazy part. Telling everyone to go get tested who went out, and then the panic causing them all to go at the same time is so backwards. I get it. I get that they had to tell people to go get tested, but I think they assumed people would do that in a safe manner. And no, everyone just showed up at the same time in this big ass line. Anyways,
they're all like at the doors, like, let me in.
yeah, man.
Oh
Anyways,
my God.
that's the end of the show, guys. We're out. Peace, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace out.
Another one next week. Peace.
Deuces.